Oh, hey, welcome to Tuesday Live. I'm your hostess, Lorraine. And today I wanted to do things a little different because I don't know if you're new around here, you might not realize, but I love empowering other people. I love helping people who are curious about tarot, whether you want to read for yourself or not. And today's episode, sorry, you ever get something on your, yeah, and it's all you see. So if you're listening to this very, very first part, I know no one is live yet, so you are probably watching the replay, and hang around because any message that resonates with you is most likely a message for you. And sometimes we'll have Mojo, my lovebird, chirping in the background. So apologies in advance. And today I actually wanted to talk a little more about how to ask a question or frame a question so that the tarot is answering it and it makes sense to you, if that makes any sense. Because I get this a lot where people ask questions, and the question they're asking, at least, and it's not a judgment, but in my mind, it's not as empowering of a question. For example, I'll just whip out an example. Does so-and-so like me, or will so-and-so fall in love with me? And to me, that's a very limiting question. For one, we don't want to limit what the universe has in store for us. We might think we want that person, but in reality, what we're meant to have could be somebody else. I mean, of course, we always have free will. We always have the ability to make the choices we make. Even if we don't make a choice, that's a choice. So to me, it's super important to really kind of think about your question. So this is for people who are just going to tarot readers to ask questions. I'm meant for this to empower you. And it's also for people who are learning tarot. So when you already do tarot, and sometimes you get that dreaded question, does so-and-so like me, or will this happen, or will that happen? So, and I will do some live tarot pulls as well. So if you want a message, just make sure you stick around, and I'll let you know when it's time to ask in the comments. So realistically, for me, at least, when I was learning tarot, it's not easy to answer a binary question. A binary is a yes or a no, or a this or a that, or this job, that job. It's pretty tough to answer questions with tarot like that, unless you pull a card, like if it's a yes, no, and you, I just flip the deck over and you get a card like this. Well, if someone asked me a yes or a no question and I got the Hanged Man, I would think it's I don't know right now. It's a maybe, right? But you're not always going to get something like that. So let me just crack another one. Okay. So for a yes or a no, this to me could be a yes, because I like the feeling of this card. If you get the Sun or what have you, again, if you get this card, to me, it's like you might need to reframe your question because it might not turn out the way you want it. See, it's really tough to answer a yes, no question. So my suggestion then is to actually reframe it. And that's all part of the fun. It's like putting it in this little computing machine and do and have it calculate a different way to actually rephrase the question. And I think one of the best ways to reframe it is to maybe go more general than specific, especially if, say, you're going to a reader and maybe you just want to see what the cards say without influencing the reader. And I'm not saying this to say test the reader to see if she's psychic and knows her stuff, because you don't have to be psychic to read tarot cards. Okay. You don't have to be psychic to play crazy eights, right? It's just it's a card game. But there is a way for you to actually generalize things so you can see if the cards and how the reader's interpreting it is going to come through into you, then can ask more qualifying questions. So going more general is something like, what do I need to know about my job situation, my relationship, my home situation. See, when you go general like that, then you're able to pull a card and it's going to go from there. So let me just generally ask this. I don't think anyone has any questions in the comments. So just to generally ask this. So what do I need to know about my home life? Okay. I mean, this is general, and maybe this isn't my question. It's for someone else. And pull a card. And I have the Emperor. So again, you might look at that and go, what does that even mean, right? So what I'm picking up from this is that you might need to, and I'm initially drawn to the Bishop here, which is, it's a chess piece. So chess is about strategy, and sometimes it's about playing against someone. It's trying to figure things out. So maybe it's trying to figure out the dynamics in your home, or maybe you're like me this past weekend, totally rearranging my space so that it feels more in flow. So see, it really, really depends on what the actual question is. So from here, this is where you could pull another card and say, so is this about my home or about the people in my home? So let me pull that. And this is just a hypothetical. It's just an example. So what did I even ask? Oh, here we go. The Four of Cups again. So I think I asked, is it about the home or about the people? So when I see this, I'm thinking it's about the people. Maybe some people aren't as happy about something going on. Maybe someone's having some issues with not feeling very optimistic. Maybe there's some depression. So strategically, maybe because I work with energy as well, it's about shifting things around in your home. Maybe it's a child you have or a teenager that's kind of moody, and it's like, well, hey, let's shift some stuff around in your bedroom and just see if that kind of helps shift the energy. Maybe they're not sleeping very well and they're very tired, and they're very emotional. Cups are all about emotion. Fours are about stability, but I often see in this particular card that it might be that boredom. Like, look at the look on her face. She doesn't look super happy. She's looking over at all this other stuff going on here, and she's not seeing all of the magic that's coming out of this cup that's being given to her. She's not either willing to see it, or she just can't see it because of all the other things that she's feeling. I hope that makes sense. Hello there. Guidance on relationships. See, I love that, because you are more generalized instead of saying, does so-and-so like me, or will I get married, or right? So let me just put a star beside your name and stick around, because I will pull cards a little bit later. Just gonna take a little sip of coffee. My day got started quite late today. I'm telling you, I just scrambled to get on here. So other questions that, because maybe you're a tarot practicer, you want to play with tarot, but you get so tired of pulling cards and asking the same old questions for yourself. Doing something general, like what do I need to know about, is one way. Another thing you can do is, what do I need to do to achieve? What do I need to do to get that new job? So you're not asking, will I get the new job? What do I need to do to get the new job? And it might not even be specifically about the job you're thinking of, but see how much more empowering that is, because now it's like, ooh, this is giving me something in my power that I can actually do, right? Little patch of heaven. I love that. When they read star signs, how do you know if you or your parents reading? Can you rephrase that? I'm not sure. When they read star signs, how do you know if it's you or your parents? Well, it depends on the question, if I'm hearing this correctly. And you can also pull clarifying cards as well to just to maybe get more about the identity of the situation. Okay, so yeah, so you're saying, like, if you have the same zodiac sign as your parents or something. It really depends on the question. You can always reframe the question and ask again. And even popping that card that might have come out back in the deck, because often what comes up is the card comes out again. I love when that happens. I still get excited when that happens. It's like, see. So Teza, hi, nice to see you again. Hey. I'm Capricorn, so is he, but how do you distinguish who's who? Well, again, it depends on the question you're asking. Like if you're asking about, I can't give an example on that, but maybe like stick around, ask your question, stick around, and we'll see if we can decipher that. Better yet, you're here now, ask the question you want to ask, and let's see if we can go a little bit deeper on that. So yeah, that's another way to actually ask that question. Another thing you can do is, instead of, like, why is this happening to me or something, that's very generalized. It could be like, what is standing in the way of whatever, and how can I overcome it? That to me would be that's not just a one card pull, by the way. That could be a way for you to really delve quite a bit deeper into whatever it is you want. Okay. Hello there, Ascending Universal Butterfly. I love these handles. They're fantastic. Good to see you. It's a beautiful image. Yeah. So do any of you play with tarot, or do you like, because it's fun to do it, and to me, it's a great way to feel that inner connection with the higher purpose of what we're all here for. And I know a lot of people struggle with that. I don't know what my purpose is. And sometimes it's not big and bold, and you're not going to get that, epiphany. It's just, we need to come from our hearts. We need to connect with people, and things come through. And our purpose isn't always necessarily one thing. It might be this for now, and it leads you somewhere else down the path, right? Teza, thank you for your question or your comment. I do love to learn, still a novice. Yeah. And I've been doing tarot for, I guess, about 20-ish years now, maybe more, I don't know. Probably more now. Oops, dating myself. But I still think of myself as a novice in a lot of ways too, because I don't have all the answers. Sorry. Everyone leaves now. She doesn't have all the answers. I'm out of here. Because life is like, everything's dynamic. There's so many different ways that things can go, right? I love experimenting with, yeah, me too. I just love playing with it. And I learn so much because I play with the cards every day, and I kind of question things, and I write things down, and I journal, and it's really helpful to kind of help me come up with the next thing I want to do, and sometimes come up with inspiration. I used to help people, other entrepreneurs and things like that, to get inspiration, to do posts and different things like that. I was going to go down that avenue and focus more on that kind of thing. But no, I like helping other people, empowering other people to realize that you can do tarot in your own way. I want to learn tarot. Yay. Well, stick around. I have a free download, Understanding Your Tarot cheat sheet. So it's on my site here somewhere. And yeah, we can stay in connection that way for sure. A little patch of heaven. I've started and been listening to other tarot readers, and hence why I get confused on messages for, I don't know what that is, for relationships, because I never know if it's for me or him, but I'll get there. Oh yeah. Or for Capricorn. Is that what you're saying? Well, because if you're clear in your question, and I know I said be general, but say it's for you, not the other person. This is for you. And so then there's no confusion. No, it's when I was teaching Reiki, I would always say that when the session begins, whatever is coming up is part of the session, right? So when you specify your question and cards start popping, or you start getting these ideas and thoughts, now if that person comes into that, then it's like, let's dive into this a little bit more and just see, is this the way I want to go. And if you do want a yes and no answer, that's where, and I probably don't have it handy here because I rearranged everything. That's where using a pendulum is handy. Now I say that, but when I first started using a pendulum, it did not work for me because I'd question it. I don't know if this is going to work. And it would just kind of go, do its own thing. But after a while, when I finally started learning to trust that whatever comes, it started working more for me. Like I know some people, it'll just hang there and it won't do anything. So it really tunes into your own energy. So if you can find a binary way to ask yes or no, is this about this? Is this about that? Another thing you can do is just start learning your body a little bit better, your inner self. What does a yes feel like in your body? What does a no feel like? Like go through the rest of your day and the rest of this week kind of tuning in simple ways. What did that no feel like in my body? And you start to really understand yourself. Then you become the pendulum. So I'll do this sometimes, or you can use a necklace if you don't have an actual pendulum, something that hangs. But if you don't have something like that, you can stand straight and be, grounded and planted. And when you ask a yes or no, a yes is you slightly lean, like it's not always like bam forward, bam backwards, but it could be just even not even physically noticeable, but you feel that little pull forward. That's your yes. If you move backwards away, that's your no. Just practice with it a little bit. It's kind of fun. I'll do that in the grocery store between this canned good and that canned good. And I'll see which one is better for me. And then I'll get that lean slightly. And I'll have to say though, it doesn't always work, but the more you play and practice with it, the more in tune you are with your own energy and your own body. That's the only thing we can really understand and control compared to everyone else around us. And this works really great for empaths because we pick on other people's shit all the time, except we don't know it. We're moody. We're like, I was in a good mood when I got up. Why am I in a shitty mood right now? Chances are you're actually picking up on someone else's energy. So when you can stop and say, okay, is this mine? You can kind of tune into it a little bit. It takes a bit of practice. But the cool thing is no one needs to know what you're doing. You're just, focused or looking, just kind of staring out into space. Maybe you get called out for that, but you're like, hey, I'm tuning into my body. Leave me alone. Let's see. Mercy. I dabble with it. I'm still learning. Yay, good. Keep playing. Just keep playing with it. That's my suggestion. Capricorn. Okay, I did get it. Yeah, thank you. We can be rather hard on ourselves to get the right answers. Mistakes are part of the learning curve. Yes. And we are hard on ourselves. And my suggestion is when you realize you're doing that, what I like to do and what I like to teach my students is go deep within yourself to that little person you were when you were like 4 or 5 years old. How would you talk to them? How would you, as that 4 or 5-year-old, want to be spoken to? That's where you can start going, oh, yeah, it's a bit harsh. How can I be more encouraging and empowering? It works. It works. I've tried that and it works so well. Yeah, the back and the forth. Yeah, I know. Next thing you know, everyone's down in the produce aisle, doing the back and forth. You're like, what the actual heck? So much fun though. It's just playing with energy, right? So let me just see. I had some notes here. Were there other things? Okay, here's a good one for relationships. Instead of asking, does this person like me or will I get in a relationship? You could say something like, what role do I play in this person's situation or this person's life or this person's issue, if there's an issue? And then, using the tarot cards to help give you an answer. Again, it's kind of hard to just pull cards on that now because it's not a question someone's actually asking. It's just an example. Interesting that the pendulum. You're very welcome. Yeah. Let me know how it goes. Hey, I know. Hey, don't worry. I have 5 thumbs. What's that? There's a saying, the fingers I've used to type are too fat or something like that. Sometimes that's the way it goes for me. So yeah. So anyways, I've kind of talked at you enough. If you would like to have a mini card reading, pop it in the chat. I actually have, I've got my Lightseer Tarot, of course, but I also have an Oracle deck because yes, I love tarot, but I originally, I started with tarot and went, what the heck? I don't know what this is. So I went to Oracle. Oracle helped me trust the messages I got. At first I used the book, and then I just started wanting to see what message came through me. And then that really helped to empower me a lot. So today I'm going to use this deck called the Soul Seeds Oracle by Allison Williams Yee. It's a really, really nice deck. So while I wait for people to put questions, even if you don't have a specific question, if you would like a card pull for inspiration, just pop it in the chat. I'm going to pull for the collective. So for people who are watching this as the replay as well, if this resonates with you. So let's pull an oracle to start. And that's actually a good way to start using your tarot deck too, is pull an oracle at first, and then you can build on what the message is by pulling tarot around it. And I'll show you that right now. So the message from this oracle card is alchemy. To me, alchemy is taking ingredients and using them together to turn it into something else. And there's a lot of energy in this card. There's what, 2, 4, 6, there's 7 orbs of light. 7 is, to me, is a very nice magical number. It's a card about choice. So alchemy could be talking about you might need to change something in order to get the result you're looking for. You know, when we keep focusing on that thing and we're pushing and pushing and we're not getting the result, but we keep pushing anyways, right? The definition of insanity is to keep doing something that's not working. So this to me is saying, takes one little thing and add it in there to just see how it changes things a little bit. Because to me, it's using all of these 6 ingredients are creating this big, bright future, this big, bright, what have you. All right. Teza, could you advise how one would ask a question regarding a new business that I'm launching shortly? Well, what do you want to know about it? I guess it depends on where you might feel stuck. Is it, because you don't want to ask things like, is this business going to succeed? Instead of that, you could ask, what can I do to help be successful in my business? That's a totally general thing you can do, right? If you want to ask about all areas of life, for instance, is a general reading better? Yeah, you could ask, what do I most need to know about in my life right now? What's the most important thing, or what's the thing I need to focus on, or something like that. And then the card is going to reveal, oh, it's about your relationships. It's about your work. It's about your appliance that's on the fritz or something, right? Never had a reading where that came up, but so anyway, so generally, and so yeah, if you want to post your question in there, and I can help you reframe it to it, you know, if it feels too specific. But let's keep with this general question for the collective, or not question, but reading. So alchemy, it's about needing to shift and change something in order to have the result that is for your highest and best good. And that keeps it general, because then it's not like, so I get that Mercedes, so I do this. So it's like, so I'm happy. Ultimately, isn't that what we all want? Whether it's someone who wants a house, someone who wants to travel, someone who wants the love of their life, distilling that down to that one thing is happiness, or feeling secure. And yeah, so let's keep going here with this one. I'll just give, now we're pulling some tarot to go along with that. See what else we need to know about alchemy in the collective. So we have the Four of Swords. All right, fours are about stability. Swords are about thoughts, beliefs, our intellect. So as it comes to alchemy, to me, it's if there's something you really want and it's not happening, alchemy is about shifting something. This is about shifting your beliefs and thoughts. Initially, when you see this, you think, oh, well, the person's sleeping and the person's laying down. Like if with traditional tarot, it's the person laying down on that slab with the 3 swords up on the wall kind of idea. And usually it's about focusing just on being meditative, of resting, of putting all of those other thoughts away while you just focus on yourself. So with this card, with alchemy, to me, it is saying you need to stop obsessing over all of the other things and just be super focused on one thing that is aligned with where you want to be. What's your goal? What can you do? How can you shift your energy so you're always that higher vibration that's magnetizing that experience you want to bring to you? So again, that was a general reading, but let me pop those back in the deck. And let's see. Oh, you're welcome. I hope it was I hope it was a good answer. Alchemy is a wonderful, it is. I love it. That's what I love about the Temperance card. To me, Temperance is all about alchemy. They're pouring water in from one cup to another. To me, it's hope, because the road I'm going down, I've been trying and I've been pushing and it's not working. It's like trying to dig a tunnel with a teaspoon. It's like something's got to change. Alchemy is the way to do it. Love it. All right. Who's got a question? Nobody's got questions in the, well, I shouldn't say that. Ascending Universal Butterfly did. Now, who wants a tarot reading? Oh, I also want to say, now this depends where in the world you are, but starting next week, because this is the last day of September. Wow, did this month go fast? Starting in October, Tuesdays as well, I'm bringing back my Tarot After Dark. It's just this little like mini series that I like to do. It's live, but it's going to be at night my time. It'll be around 6:30, 7 o'clock Pacific. So that's like 9:30, 10 Eastern. So do the math on what your time zone is. It might be not feasible for you to watch it live, but I invite you to come and watch the replay. And what I do there, especially for those of you here who are curious about tarot and you have your own decks, is bring your deck along. We play a little bit. And I call it Tarot After Dark because, you know, when it's dark, we've got our candles lit, the whole world isn't seeing us in the daylight. So we can kind of let our hair down a little bit. Well, some of us can let our hair down a little bit and just kind of play and experiment. And that's kind of what, when I started it last year, there's a few older ones, and you'll see a playlist here on my channel if you want it. But yeah, I'm bringing that back in October. I don't know how long I'll be doing them, because then that means I'm kind of committing to doing two a day. I may drop the daytime one for that duration. I don't know. I'm going to manage my energy the way I need to as the introverted empath that I am. So there you have it. All right. So Universal Butterfly, I see that, but let me scroll back up. And there's this question here. I don't know if Sandia is still here. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. If you're still here, let me know. I'll pull a card for you. A little patch of heaven. I've starred yours as well. So hopefully, if they're not here, hopefully they'll come back. And I'm just going to quickly pull, and this could be just an example on what to do as well. Guidance on relationships. I love the generality, because then we can let the tarot decide how specific it's going to actually come. Let me see. Oh, you're here. Yay. Okay. Fantastic. Mercy, I'm putting a star beside yours. Let me scroll back up to Sandhya. Okay. All right. So I invite you to just ground your energy by putting your feet on the ground and be open to receive the message you're meant to hear. Ooh, that one flipped right over in the deck. Okay, you've got two. Oh. So that you have the Lover. So this is definitely about relationships. Maybe it's about connecting with somebody who you really kind of get lost in. Like you really, your energy just shifts and changes when you're around that person. And then we got the Hermit. So we kind of have the opposite. We have, I want to feel connected, and yet there feels like there's this isolation. And I don't know if whether this is on your end or on their end, but there seems to be a time where someone needs time on their own. So what I'm receiving is that don't take it personally if they need their space. It's not that they need their space from you. They need their space to recharge their energy, to process different things. But that's part of the balance. It's not all the time fully connected always. Like that would kind of get boring after a while too. It's having that space. So the message could be, this is them. If they need space, don't take it personally. Or this could be you. Don't be so obsessed over making the relationship work or getting in a connection with that person. Give yourself the time and space to really focus on you. And what I get here is that beautiful inner loving light. That's your soul. Only you can nurture your soul. Only you can allow that energy in or out. And you're complete on your own. You don't need that to be the puzzle piece that completes you. You're already complete. And when you feel you're not, that's when you need to take the space for yourself, to come back into yourself, to love yourself, to trust you are an amazing person and you deserve to love yourself first. And then, and this is especially if you're looking for a relationship that you're not in yet, that's your energy is good. You're going to have a glow up, if you know that term, a glow up where your energy is just going to attract so many other people. And I know this happened to me in the past where it was like, long time ago where I was single. And it's like, I don't want to be single. I don't want, no one's interested. Nobody's, saying, let's go out on a date or let's get coffee or nothing like that. And then as soon as you get in a relationship, then it's like that person and that person. So because your energy's changed, you become more of this attraction, more of an attractive energy. And that's where really giving yourself that soul time can be quite helpful for you. So I hope that makes sense. And let me pop those back in the deck. And let's see. What else do we have? Aw, thank you. You're a beautiful soul. You deserve whatever you wish in the world. You're very welcome. All right, let's go up to where's the other stars? Ascending universal butterfly. What does spirit want me to focus on at this moment in time? And then, yeah, that's the question. Okay. All right. So you've been listening to me, I see. A good question. All right, so grounding your energy, fully present in your body, and asking the universe to provide the answer you most need to hear right now, which is what does spirit want you to focus on? Okay, you saw me shuffle, right? You get 3 cards. First card, bam. You have the Lovers. Now, before I just kind of go, oh, it's about love, let's see the other cards here. You have the Queen of Wands and you have Justice. So let me see if my tiny little hands can hold all of these at the same time and be able to see. So this feels like it is about relationships, but it's also about you trusting and feeling confident in your own abilities. So this getting mixed up. So this might or might not be about romantic relationships. This could be about work related. To me, and this is just me generally picking it up, this could be about all the relationships in your life when it's happening, because you asked in this moment in time. So whether you're at work, it's about work relationships. Whether you're at the mechanics, it's about you connecting with the mechanic to get your car fixed, right? You see where I'm going? And this is reminding you to trust your own magic. I love this Queen of Wands in this deck. And it's feeling happy with what you are able to create, your innate ability to have the energy to do what it takes when you focus, right? When you focus. And then Justice, and I'm drawn to the sword. So to me, this feels like sword energy. Things balance themselves out. So don't be so stuck on making things right or fixing things. Sometimes you just got to sit back and you just got to say, things are going to work out. Let me focus on what lightens my energy, what makes me feel happy and confident. So when things aren't always working out the way you want them to, you're still trusting your own self, trusting your own soul, and trusting that justice prevails. Everything works out. It's not always going to be the exact way you want it to, but it's going to work out with the highest good in mind. There you go. I hope that makes sense. Like, here's the thing, everybody. When you're listening to me spout off what I get, trust your own intuition. You know yourself better than anyone. And if what I say isn't resonating, but you're looking at these cards and you're going, oh, this means blah, 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 trust it. And then go grab your own tarot deck and continue and pull your own clarifier cards. All right. So there you go. Because you should never put your power in and your life decisions in anyone else's hands, even mine, especially mine. Always trust yourself. And I do also want to say, since this whole call is about questions and how to frame them, is don't always ask the same question. Because here's what I visualize. I have vivid imagination. I picture your guides up there going, oh, here they go again. They're asking that same question with that reader, with this reader, with their own cards. And it's like we keep giving them the answer, but they keep getting more confused. So don't keep asking the same question. Reframe it just by the different ways that we've been talking about here, or focus on one specific thing. Be in the moment, as Ascending Universal Butterfly asked, in the moment. And that's going to allow the reading or the reader or the tarot cards or the message to come through for that specific thing. So yeah, that's all. I'm off my high horse on that one. So we did that. And let's just see what else we have. Okay, let's continue. So I write a lot of poetry. It makes a lot of sense. Beautiful. Yay, I'm so happy. Oh, I love it. Thank you for sharing that. Great advice and wisdom. Thank you, guides. Thankfully, it doesn't come through me. And that's something I learned. I wished if I had a time machine and I could go back in time and tell myself something, it would be, don't believe your own words. Trust that you're channeling messages from the universal energy. And I think that's why I don't always remember things after I've done a reading. Someone goes, oh, you did this reading and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because it comes through me and then it's gone. And because I used to beat myself up for that. I used to be like, I don't remember the reading. They're asking me about, whatever, but it's already gone. Sometimes like instantly already gone. And I've learned that because it's not coming from my intellectual brain, I'm just letting the words flow from the universe. So there you have it. All right, let's get those other ones here. Little Patch of Heaven. What do I need to know about my relationship with the person on my mind? Yes, he's an ex, but not sure what about the relationship. And then I see something else here. He's an ex, however, he's been contacting me and I'm not sure what to do, or if God's saying there's a reason for a connection. He betrayed me. Those betrayers, hey? I love how specific you are, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, let's see if the tarot reader can read my mind. And I don't work that way. I always tell people I'm not psychic. I'm not a medium. I'm me. I'm Lorraine. That's it. So let's see. Let's go back up to your original question here, because I think, okay, what do I need to know about my relationship with this person? Okay. So having your backstory definitely will help me to, what am I trying to say? Will help me decipher what the messages are. So let's see. Okay. Ace of Swords. What I got instantly when this card fell out is that overthinking. So it's time to just kind of be still, and instead of trying to figure out them, which that's freaking impossible, right? What are they thinking? What's their motivation? What's their motive? Is to start focusing on yourself and what do I want? Because, if they connected with you again, and what was your instant reaction? Ugh, was it that? Or was it, oh, because I know when someone's betrayed me, that ain't happening again. No. What I'm picking up, and I'm going to pull another card to clarify it, but I want to say it first, is that they're doing it because they're trying to feel better about what they did. And they think this is going to help them. It's not about helping to heal you or get back with you. Initially, that's what I'm picking up. But let's pull another card for to go a little deeper. King of Wands. Yeah. Egotistical. It's all about tying things up in a bow. Maybe it's all about putting another notch on their bedpost, saying, yeah, well, I got them back, even though I did the worst I can do. And if I did it then, I can do it again. I'm king of the world. That's what I pick up from that. I don't like giving strict advice on something. I'm thinking it, but I'm not going to say it because it's not my place. Let's pull one more for you. I'm all about threes. That's too many cards. So the top one, the Hanged Man. What you need to do is you need to take some time away from, the messages blowing up on your phone or whatever's happening, and just allow yourself the space and time to feel your energy come back to you. And this is where you're going to get the enlightenment that you need. And trust the niggles, trust your intuition. Don't be gaslit into, oh, it wasn't as serious as it was. You said you were betrayed. They're going to try and convince you that they didn't. You felt betrayed regardless of what the circumstance was, and you need to trust that. That's your first clue to where you think that relationship might go. So there you go. I hope that makes sense for you. And let me just scroll down, see what we got. Joanna, I see your question. Let me put a star beside your name. I'll get to you. Okay, a little patch of heaven. Thank you for your advice. My ego gets in the way when I practice reading, and then I feel like it's wrong. And that's a common thing. Our ego is just how we identify ourselves, right? An ego isn't good or bad. It's an identity. So yes, we question it because we know ourselves better. We can BS ourselves and, talk ourselves in or out of something like nobody's business, right? So yes, sometimes it's difficult to read for yourself because of that. But if you just follow the clues when you're pulling cards and things like that, or using a pendulum, or getting someone else's opinion on a reading, but ultimately, you have dominion over your own thoughts, your own choices, and There's never a wrong choice. Okay. Even if it's like getting back with somebody and then it turns sour again, you can't go back and say that was the wrong choice. You learned a lot from it. Every choice we make is the choice we're meant to make in that moment for us to learn and grow. That's how it works, which is a great way to kind of get out of things and say, yeah, that was meant to happen. I'm never wrong. So there you go. Sandy, I would like to join your tarot sessions in October. Oh, the one I was just talking about. They're lives like this, so it'll be live on my channel. So it'll be next Tuesday at I haven't decided whether it's going to be between 6 or 7 p.m. Pacific time. So I don't know what time zone you're in right now. It's almost noon my time. So, and you just have to show up, and I'll try and post ahead of time, and it might show that it's coming up and you can click notify me, and then it'll let you know when I go live. Thank you. Be cool to see ya. Teza, in your last live, you pulled the dove card for me. Oh, did I? Okay. Well, the day after, a white dove appeared and hung out for 2 days. Wow. Was there a bigger message? Well, that's the question. What did you pick up from that? Because it was meant for you. When I see things repeating like that, whether it's a card coming out again or seeing it in nature, that's the universe giving you a heads up. It's like the universe with the big highlighter pen going, pay attention to this text or this whatever. To me, it feels like it's trusting your peace and your softness. It's trusting you have that within you. And maybe go back to what was going on when when the dove appeared and hung out. What were you thinking? What were you feeling? Right? Because you know better than me, realistically. But that's really cool. I love that. Oh, thank you. You know what? Even as a tarot reader, who's been reading for quite a while, validation is always good. It never gets old, because to me, it's reminding me to stay humble, to remind me that it's not me. It might be through me. So it's my responsibility to drink water, to feel healthy, to ground myself, to meditate, to do self-healing. That's clearing my energy so that I can be a clearer conduit of energy for those who have messages they need. Thank you. I also had a dream 2 days later with a black peacock that had bright red feathers that came to sit on my lap. I'm having a bird week. Maybe Mojo and influenced that. Well, I love that. Such vivid dreams. I hope you're keeping a dream journal, because that's powerful, especially when you go back to it later and can add and have some things to add to it. Peacocks. I love peacocks. I have a lot of peacock paraphernalia around me. That'd be something to delve into. And I know others have questions here too. I just want to catch up on Little Patch of Heaven. Yes, definitely overthink. I'll focus on me, and you're right. I'm very blunt with him. Good. I'm going to definitely focus on me. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for asking a question like that and being open and vulnerable enough to allow the answers to come through. Because that's another thing. If you're doing a reading for someone and it's hard for you to get the answer, it might not be you. It might be because the person is closed off. Maybe there's something very personal they don't want you to see. So it's not your business. You're not meant to see it. And that's how sometimes the reading might not work out. So it's important to communicate too, saying, yeah, I'm not really getting a lot, that's one thing. I mean, we could cover that in another thing, or if you join my Tarot Cafe, we delve into things a little bit deeper as we go on and as you're learning tarot. All right, let me scroll back up. Where's my stars? There we are. Mercy. I think Mercy and then Johanna, and that's all I have left. So if I've missed you, comment again so I don't miss you. Mercy. I was in a vehicle accident in 2021. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Oh, I'm still going through surgeries and all, and this is still in court. How would I ask if this will go in my favor? Hmm. You know, I'm a believer that things happen to us for a reason. I'm not saying you being punished for that happening at all. But I think in wording that, hang on, I got to take a sip. Out of my thoughts become things mug. Choose the good ones. It's starting to come off. I'm upset about that. The question I want to ask is, what can I do to feel okay with the outcome? And then you're kind of letting it up to the universe. What can I do to feel empowered with the outcome of this situation? How does that sit with you? Hopefully you're still here. You asked that like 20 minutes ago and might have been wondering if I was going to get to you. So Mercy, if you're here, let me know. But even if you're not, I'm going to answer this with tarot to just see. Maybe you come back and you watch the replay for it. So let's see. So for Mercy, how can she feel satisfied with the outcome of this situation? First thing I want to say too is trust. Focus on not the procedure and being in court and this person and that person, and focus on the end result. How do you want to feel? You want to walk out of that courtroom going, yes, I feel so much better. Closure. This feels good. Doing that over and over, especially when you get into worry and what if, it's like, okay, I honor that. And now I'm going to focus on, can you imagine how good it's going to feel when I get that verdict that I want? That's what you can focus on. So, holy mackerel, you got 5 cards. I hope you're here. Yay, you're here. You got 5 cards. To me, 5 is about change. So let it be change in your face. Like, first of all, the change is that your life changed in 2021 because of that, obviously, right? This is trust and feel empowered. Trust that joy that you can bring up despite what you're dealing with and what you're trying to recuperate and recover from, right? Trust that. Do little things every day, every week, every month that help you feel good about life now instead of concerning with all the things that you can't control. Okay. This is what you can control. You can control your own magic in whatever way. Judgment, to me, this is about letting go of blame. And I'm not, hey, if someone's in the wrong, they're in the wrong. They did something wrong in an accident. That's that. This is about you releasing the outcome and just, what's the word? Being resolute in that this is the way things are now, and it's going to get even better from here. See, and I haven't even looked at all the cards together. Wow, you got lots of major arcana. You also have the moon. This one, you got to be a little, treat it with kid gloves, because this can show up as deep and mysterious and moody. This can be flying off the handle, your initial reaction to something. Being aware of what's lying underneath when you feel that things are changing or your mood's changing or you're feeling not optimistic about something. That could have to do with the energy and the phases of your own energy. The phases of the moon really influence us, especially if we're empaths. We pick up on that, like just the moon phase that just happened, and things start to build, like we're starting to go toward the full moon, and then be aware of that, and then you're able to go, okay, well, yeah, it's not just me. There is energy around. And if you have people to talk to about it, like I do, it's like, I'm feeling really tired. Anyone? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, oh, good. It's a bit of validation. We all could use some validation. You also have the World card. And to me, this is an amazing card because it's showing you full circle. Things come around. Things are going to reset themselves. You're going to be in a place of feeling good about your life and yourself, whatever the outcome is. Okay. And then your final one is the Eight of Pentacles. This one to me is about keep going, repeating things until it feels second nature. And again, this one has the phases of the moon on it. The Eight of Pentacles normally doesn't. It's the guy with his bench and he's working on a pentacle and he's got pentacles up the tree. That one feels more like perfecting something. But this card, the Light Seer Tarot, it feels more like using your own tools to help you shift your energy to be in a positive mindset, no matter what might come in and seem to kind of set things back a little bit. It's like, hey, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep focusing on everything that makes me feel good, that makes me feel like that lights me up. All right. So let me just take a look at all of these together. I'm seeing a lot of blue. That's what I'm drawn to with this. And to me, blue is the throat chakra. Blue is about communication. So it's definitely about speaking your truth, but being it's not coming to me. It's in my head and I can't bring it out the face. It's about doing it from a place of calm, peaceful, not like blurting things out. It's trusting in your own confidence. And I'm really drawn to this very first card about that. So I hope that makes sense to you. I want to pull Soul Seed card too. The oracle cards are usually very optimistic and positive, and sometimes that's the little seed we need to trust that everything is going to be fine regardless of the outcome. You're here and you have your life. That's the first thing. And sometimes, some days, maybe that's all you have to just be the thing to focus on. And that's a start. Frequency. This is telling me to, like I was saying before, to really be aware of your own energy. Like when you have to go into court and do things, like go inward, ground your energy, call your guides and angels to be present with you so your energy frequency is aligned with the outcome you want. And you're resolute in this is how I want to feel at the end of this. Then it's less about all these things that have to happen, and it's more like I'm just aligned and I'm calling in that same alignment that's going to mirror me and everything is going to work out the way it needs to. I hope that makes sense for you, Mercy. All right, let me scrolly. Joanna, yes, you were next. So yeah, just give me a second, see what else is here. Okay, I have other questions there too, Teza. Just give me a second. I'm gonna do a card pull for Joanna. So you might not have been here at the beginning when I was talking about how to word questions, because how does my twin flame feel about me? I don't know. We can see what comes up with that, but I particularly, and I'm just saying this because this is who I am, I don't really believe in twin flame stuff like that. I feel that our soul mates aren't always here, forever. Like my ex-husband was a soulmate, but clearly he's an ex now, so no longer. Like we're meant to make connections with people. Some are meant for life. Some are meant for just shifting and giving us different gifts. And gifts might not always feel like good ones, but they're empowering us in the end. But let's see. Okay, this card dropped out just as I was reading your question on the screen again. And we have the Page of Cups. With this particular card in this deck, I feel that things aren't always as they seem. And to me, to feel more empowered, it's thinking you need to think more about you. How do you feel? How do you want to feel? We can sometimes get obsessed about somebody specific, because that's how we work. We're humans. That I do it too, or I've done it. But over time, you realize that it's less about them and what they think, and more about you, and what you think and what you're willing to put up with. I don't know why I had to say it that way, but let me pull another one. Jackie, hi. Hopefully you're still here. It probably came in a little while ago. Okay. 3 of Cups. To me, this is saying, make sure you're not just solely focused on this person in this relationship, because I feel like it's not somebody that you're actually connected with yet. You might want to. This is like, hang around with your tribe, who you feel good around. And this is helping to empower you to trust that you're worthy of all the love and respect and joy in the world as you are now. You are a flame of your own amazingness, and you are complete as you are. And I think I said that for someone else here too. We're not a puzzle piece. There's not a puzzle piece missing that it's like, you are the puzzle. You're the full puzzle. You have all your pieces. And for someone to add something, that's adding to it, which is great. But on your own, without it, you're good. You're just where you need to be. So trust that. Hang around with people that get you. Hang around with people who lift you up, that support you, that make you feel good. If you start feeling like you're in situations where people are kind of judging you, or that kind of making you doubt yourself, then you need to step away from that. And, sometimes it might be family, and it's like, we can't step away from family, but we don't have to take on their own drama and their own words. Within ourselves, no one can control how we feel. No one can control what we think. And that's where you're going to come from, this grounded space to really trust. You'll know when you know. And here's the thing, if you aren't together with them yet, you're going to have that confidence within yourself that you're just going to attract who's meant to match that energy, whether it's twin flame stuff or not. And I hope that makes sense. This is why I don't like doing relationship readings, because I've learned so much in my 60 years on this earth. So I hope that makes sense. All right. Let me see here. Teza, if you're reading for someone that you're too close to, can you influence the outcome of the cards? Well, your message can influence it. But if you shift the question a little bit, and here's the thing, like, I know reading for friends, like, their situation, right? But sometimes that's part of the reading. That's part of the message, is to, because what you know. So then you're able to go a little deeper and ask deeper questions or reveal deeper meanings to it. I hope that makes sense. It's kind of vague, but whatever. The cat. It's always the cat or the dog or the bird. I'm glad you came back. Thanks for coming back. Hi, Jackie. Oh, yeah, tech has been weird lately, but I appreciate you being here. If you want a card, let me know. Thank you so much. It makes sense. I really do appreciate it. Oh, good. I'm glad. Teza, goodness. Won't be able to join you in the after. It'll be 2 a.m. Oh, you're in Lisbon. Right. Yes. Yeah. So, well, what I'll try and do too is still do my 11 a.m. It was 11 a.m. here. It's noon now. So to you know, this seeing that you're here and you're engaged and stuff helps me be more integral. And I like, yeah, I should show up because I know people show up, and I like connecting with people. And yeah, so I'll try and keep doing my morning and afternoon or morning and evening sessions. If you have a Mo, I'd love to ask what the message was in the peacock dream I had. Okay. Okay. And Jackie would like a card. Okay, let me hang out here, Tessa. Let me get Jackie and see. What does Jackie want to know? Okay, ground your energy, be present. Cards are all jumbly. How's your energy? Maybe it's mine. Okay, what does Jackie most need to know right now? I need to clear the energy again with the cards. Sorry if you see me gazing off. I can't help it. I have a really beautiful view, and it inspires me and grounds my energy. I'm very grateful. Okay, Jackie. 4 of Cups. Are you feeling a little, or maybe some circumstances might have you feeling a little despondent, a little kind of, your energy might be a little low. And if it's not you, maybe someone around you, because you know your life the best. Because it feels like all you need to do is just shift your perspective a little bit to trust that there's inspiration and there's hope. I'm going to pull you another card as well. Okay. And you got the 6 of Pentacles, because things are going to balance themselves out a little bit when you can shift from that. To me, it feels like, and I don't like the word lesson, but it's the only thing coming to me. It's a lesson in you trusting that all you need to do is tweak your energy a little bit, tweak your sometimes it's your thoughts you have to shift to in order to feel differently. But when you can just do that one little tweak, even if it's going, you're not feeling optimistic or whatever, and you go and look in the mirror and then you just kind of fake it and you go, that can shift your energy right there. And then you look at your face and you're like, what an idiot. That's me talking to myself. What an idiot. Everything's going to be fine. And then that shifts. That energy becomes a little more reciprocal to what you're putting out. What you put out, you get back. And, and it doesn't always come mirror back identically, but it'll show up in a way that you'll know. So trust the little tweaks you can do to really allow your energy to balance out. So there you go. I hope that makes sense. Resonates. Excellent. Old anxieties resurfaced. Okay, there you go. So yeah, and focus on that old. Okay, things repeat themselves to remind us that we are through with them. It's the universe going, you sure? Are you sure? So if you look at it like, oh, it's coming up again. How come I can't get through it? Instead, the universe is showing, are you sure? Remember this thing that happened? Remember this thing that used to freak you out? And so you're in a different level now than you were then. And then you can just kind of do what you can, like shifting your breathing, that one little tweak, stamp your feet a little bit to remind your feet, the chakras in the bottoms of your feet, to be grounded to the earth. Even if you're wearing platform shoes and you're on the 27th floor, you can visualize that you're grounded. And then you're like, yeah, I'm sure. It's just sometimes it's like the universe is giving you some diagnostics to go through and make and see that you've been through. And you're like, yeah, those used to bother me, and maybe they bother me now, but not quite as intensely. And look at me go. Look at me glow. Huh? There you go. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. All right, Teza, if you have a Mo, I'd like to ask what a message about the peacock dream. Okay, so let's see. Let's tune into that. And give us a message about the peacock dream. And that was the black peacock with the white wing or the red wings. As soon as I said that, these cards came out. We got 4. 5 of Swords. So maybe you like, and I think, sometimes it's hard to remember what our thoughts were, taking inventory of our thoughts. What were your thoughts before you went to bed? What were your thoughts when you woke up and you remembered that? Was it something that had happened that maybe there was some conflict? I don't know. To me, this is being aware of what the negative thoughts were. That's what I'm picking up from that. And then I get the Star instantly. Without going into my own story, I'm picking up that maybe it's somebody who's in spirit now that's sending you a message. 3 of Swords is about overcoming those limiting beliefs that cause you to think things weren't working out. I'm really drawn to the black and the red in this card. And then the Magician. What I'm getting from this is, I think even if you like cognitive, you'd be like, well, I don't know. That's why I'm asking you, Lorraine, duh. But I think if you scratch that a little bit, you're gonna go, oh, I think I know what it's about. Because to me, it does feel very symbolic. And it almost feels like it's something from the past that didn't turn out the way you wanted it to, and you might have regrets about it. I don't even know if that makes sense. It's like I gave you 5 different descriptions and you're probably more confused than when you first asked. So I hope that makes sense. And yeah, well, there you go. You're very welcome, Jackie. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Wow, it's been 1 hour and 11 minutes. I love 111. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for trusting me to bring messages from Spirit for you. I hope you learned a little bit of something, and we're going to see you next week, 11 a.m., and for Tarot After Dark. So thanks for following, for subscribing, for notifications. And yeah, I'm trying to grow this little channel. I really want to grow my channel. I really want to be at the point where I can have an online community for those of you who want to join something like that, where I can go deeper into messages and do lives where it's not like everybody in the world is seeing them, although I do like that as well. So thanks so much. You're very welcome. Thanks for being here. Little patch of heaven. You're very, very welcome. Thank you all so much, and we'll see you next time. Peace.